And really great, interesting that we have new attenders on our webinar. Let me share my screen. Yeah. So we start. Yeah, great. We start our second day right now. And because we have a new attenders on our webinar who joined us via Zoom or YouTube, I would like to introduce us again. First to myself, my name is Svetlana Solomatnikova, I'm drone competition and activities manager of Copter Express, and Timofey Kondratiev. He's a technical programmer of Copter Express, and he will give you new skill during our webinar of drone programming in Gazebo Simulation. And I would like to introduce with you our partner, Prometheus company, and Annalise Moffitt personally. She represents Prometheus. It is a local distributor for COEX in the Middle East. So some words about yourself, Annalise. Let's welcome.
Thanks so much. Is it okay if I share my screen real fast?
Yes, just a moment. Yeah, try it.
All righty. Let me go ahead and. Right. Excellent. So yes, my name is Annalise Moffitt. I am based here in Dubai in the beautiful UAE. Prometheus is the local distributor for COEX. So we represent the brand. We do additional training, hardware, competition support. But today I really just want to talk about COEX. I am fortunate enough to actually have one of the drones here with me. I don't know if you can see me on the screen as well, but I'll show you again when I'm done with the slides. It is really exciting to be able to do these virtual trainings, but in the future, when we can start gathering again, it will be even more exciting to bring your students together and work on a real drone in person. Part of what we do with COEX is facilitate that by having a stock and being the go-to for your drone needs. So that means if you want to purchase a drone or you want to build a training package for your club or your students or your friends, if a group of you want to come together, we can figure out a way to make that happen. We also have trainers that are working with us to learn the material, so we can do this in Arabic as well. So it doesn't really limit you based off of your language needs. We can find a way to work together. On this slide here, I just want to mention some of the ways that we see COEX really being a leader in drone education in the Middle East. We have some great pictures here from when Timofey was here in person about a year ago. We were able to do a training camp for students learning about the drones in preparations for Emirates Skills. For those of you who don't know Emirates Skills, it feeds into the World Skills competition that happens every couple years. The next World Skills competition, I believe, has been moved to 2022 in Shanghai. But this is a great way to showcase the university student teams. You work in small groups. They're very involved challenges. And the local competition, Emirates Skills, is using the COEX drones for the drone portion of the competition. So we're here to help connect you guys to the material you need to be a part of Emirates Skills and then also hopefully compete in World Skills. So the few of the ways that we see COEX fitting in with what one can do in drone education is one, outreach. So whether you're running a camp or doing a demonstration, if you're a university or an organization that wants to show what is possible, drones are a great way to demonstrate that because it's such a visual medium. You can actually see them flying around. Once you understand it, it's fairly straightforward to fly it in person. So that's a great thing you could do as a student demonstration or a demonstration for a department. Research, I think this goes hand in hand with the drone labs. We're seeing more universities building labs where engineering students, both undergraduate and graduate, can dive deeper into both the technology and the potential innovation with the technology. COEX has a number of different solutions, both on the education side and the industrial side. We offer the educational drones, but we're happy to sort out how to get you an industrial drone if you want to do a more involved project. But for most people's needs, the Clovers are probably the way to go. Competitions. Emirates Skills is just one of many opportunities that students have to participate, get to know each other, play with the hardware, develop their skills, and then showcase what they've learned. So whether you're living in the UAE, you're in Qatar, you're in Saudi Arabia, you're in Jordan, or elsewhere, there are ways that you can use your skills to connect with other people. With Copter Hack is one. There are a number of rolling competition dates, so you're not as glued to the same schedule as some other groups are, for example, with Emirates Skills. So it doesn't really matter so much when you adopt it into either your curriculum or your club, or if you by yourself want to form a team and give it a shot. There are a lot of ways that you can compete and really have the fun of meeting other people and engaging with them, even if right now we're doing that virtually. Another element is professional development. Right? So if you're a graduate student or you're a professor somewhere and you want to learn more about this technology, so you're prepared as your department implements it or you're prepared to teach it, we can help facilitate the kind of training you would need to figure out, well, how do I heighten my skills? How do I build this into my curriculum? How do I make sure this fits with the goals I have for my students or my department? There are a lot of different things that we find people need when implementing these innovative solutions. And what I want to say is we're here to help you make that happen. So please don't hesitate to get in touch with us directly. sales@prometheus.global. Our website, prometeinc.com, is where you'll find a full list of our portfolio, some of the other products that we have as well. And like anything, I always say conversation is the best way to start, because the more ideas you have about what you want and you're able to share with us, the more things we can come up with together to make really exciting stuff happen. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the webinar. Get in touch if there's anything we can help you do and you're based in any of those countries that Svetlana mentioned. As your local distributor, we're the exclusive partner for COEX, and we're really excited to help them grow here. So thank you so much.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Annalise. Thank you for your very informative speech. And also we share with you all information, of course. And at the end of our meeting, we tell you more about competitions and how to apply it also. Okay, great. So I think we can continue, and we start from our favorite rules. Just a moment, I will share my screen and be ready to take a common photo with all of us. Just a moment. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So for those who connect to us right now, First of all, our webinar, our lecture will be the format in webinar, and it is mean that you will get all materials after our lecture, and also you will get a homework, and you can upgrade your skill, repeat all steps. And during our session, if you have a question, don't hesitate to ask it in our Zoom chat. We accumulate all questions, and of course, we will answer on it. And finally, our favorite part of our webinars, common photo. Please turn on your cameras. We take it, the photo with your smiles. And then we continue our practice time. Okay, just a moment. The best photo will be in 3, 2, 1, and smile. Great, I will save it. Just a moment. Yes, and guys, where is your smile? I didn't see it. Yeah, I see Mario smile. Great, great. Oh yeah, perfect. And 3, 2, 1, the smile. Hey, great, perfect, perfect. Great. So I hope you have a really good mood, because you will learn new skill, and then you will get more information how to apply you gotten skill. And so let's start. And we start from our plan for today. So Timofey, welcome. Please
Yes.
Tell us what we will learn today.
Okay. First, I will tell you a few words about your homework. Then I will remind you about different coordinate systems, frame IDs in Clover. Then we will learn how to use sensors like rangefinder and how to subscribe to topics in ROS. Then we will learn how to use LED strip, and we will control the strip by the measurement from the rangefinder. And then we will learn how to read QR code with the drone's camera and use this information to navigate the drone around the area. So you will learn how to create QR codes and read this information and make a path for the drone that's based on the information in QR code. Then we will give you the homework, and we will go back to Svetlana to give her the final words. Okay, let's now begin. I will share my screen here.
While Timofey preparing his screen, so please write in the Zoom chat who tried to perform the homework, who installed the simulator. So how it was difficult for you, or you don't have enough time for it. You can write a message in the Zoom chat.
We actually have one homework that's that I can show you right now. Let me share it with you. This is the homework from Igor. He sent it to the support chat. Let's see what he's done. So yeah, this is his homework. The drone is going between the columns. And it makes a flip in the final, then goes to the takeoff zone and lands. Great job. So a few words about how you can recreate something like that. First of all, let me open my program that I showed you yesterday. In this part, it's just a path for the certain map. You just need to use proper coordinates to navigate drone between the columns. I will not emphasize on that. But if you are talking about flip, I will show you where you can find the code for flip. So you can go to code snippets and find with Control F, find flip here. And there is a code example called flip. So it requires the math module, and there is a flip function that you can copy and paste in your code, as well as there is some a constant which is half of the pi, and some navigates to perform. So, but I want to tell you that this is a flip written for real drones with certain setup. It will not work out of the box in the simulator. So in the simulator, you need to change some of the parameters here, like this time delays and the amount of thrust needed. So I will briefly show you how it can be done. I will copy only the function flip and paste it into the code. So the flip function is here. It requires also the math pi over 2 constant, which I will put somewhere, maybe here. Okay. And here we will need to change some parameters. So right now, if I try to flip, like if I wanted to go to this, the coordinate 2.5, 1, and 2, then if I try to flip,
Who is going tomorrow? Tomorrow.
The drone will hit the ground if I try to. So we will
do something.
Just a moment. I will check it, guys. Please turn on your microphones. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And then we will play around with some parameters, which you can also do yourself. Okay, let's run this program first. And the drone hits the ground. So after that, it usually does not take off again. So it might not take off the next time because in the flight controller, it experienced high acceleration and it actually broken the filter, the Kalman filter in the flight controller. So it might not take off again. And we will, in this case, we will need to restart the simulator. But now I will do a few changes in my code. For example, I will use ROSPI sleep 0.3 instead and increase this pitch rate to maybe 35 and thrust to 0.3. Let's assume that it will work. I don't remember the exact parameters that will work perfectly on this simulator, so let's try this once. And as you can see, it does not take off because of the problem I told you about. I will Control-C in this terminal and Control-C. Yeah, and this program is already stopped working. So let me wait for the simulator to restart, and we will try it again with the new parameters. didn't load fully. Let's restart it again. All right, let's try this configuration. Well, it's almost the result that I wanted to achieve. It didn't flip perfectly, but if we play around more with the parameters, we might finally find the configuration that works best for us. So I will not continue with that. I will now go to the next topic that we wanted to discuss. Okay, so if you wanted, for example, to learn more about certain frame IDs, first thing we do is open this coordinate systems frames article and find the list of the frame ID. And I told you that map is the default frame ID, which is every other navigation, like every navigate in each frame ID will transform the vector to the map frame ID anyway, because this is the root map for us. And even the frame ID Aruka map is built upon the map. So when the drone, let me show you that. When the drone takes off, it doesn't know where the Aruka map is. It knows its position in map, and once it sees the markers, it's kind of making a point in space where this new frame ID is starting from, and this is the new frame ID called Aruka map. And navigate target, the frame ID that is used, for example, here, it's used in getting telemetry when you in the function navigate weight. So navigate target is used. I will show you right now how to use the frame ID navigate target to create nice experiences. For example, if we wanted to make a square fly with a square shape, we can hard code the coordinates of the drone into the function. But what if I wanted to have a function that will make a square in any place where you want to start, or like where the drone is right now? Then you can use the frame ID navigate target. So let's do that. I will create another function called square. Here I will use navigate weight. 4 of them. In each navigate weight, I will paste the frame ID equals navigate target, which will allow me to navigate from the previous navigation point. And now I need to specify the X, Y, and Z, the shift from that point, from the navigate target point to the next navigate point. So let me do that way. 2 for X, 0 for Y, and 0 for Z. We need to have we need to use 0 in Z because the default Z is 1.5 here. And if we leave it blank, it will increase its height in each new navigate, which we do not want. Right, the next navigate will be 0, 2, and 0. And the next one is -2, 0, 0. And the next one is 0, -2, 0. And this is the square function. Let me show you how it works. We will call square here in this coordinates. Then let's go to the coordinates of 4, 0 and call another square. Like that. And then go to this, to the 0, 0 coordinates and land. Let's try to run the program. I hope it will not require a restart because of the heat of the ground. Let's see. Yeah, the drone takes off perfectly. We can see how it fly. So it does its first square. After this square, it will go to the next point and create the second square. Yeah, it's going to the 4, 0 coordinates and it's making another square. So if you want to navigate from the current position or from the position that the drone will be just in a moment, well, navigate target, you can use this frame ID. Very useful and handy, that's for me. So I recommend you using it sometimes if you want to create the position independent functions, the original position independent function. Okay, our next topic would be reading data from sensors. You remember that yesterday I showed you how to listen to the topic with ROS topic echo command. ROS topic echo / rangefinder and range, and this is our data. And how do we access this data in our code? Let's go to the Clover COEX stack and find the, where is that? Yeah, laser rangefinder. So in this article, we have a code example that shows us you need to import like this sensor message range and define the function range callback and subscribe to the topic. And there is a ROSPI pin, which is just an infinite wait, right? Infinite sleep, which we will not use. Like if you use this in your code, like everything below this line will not ever work. So let me put this code in my code. I've pasted this first line, then I will paste the range callback. Notice that this function is actually a callback function, which means that we will not call it directly. We will send this function to another function or another object as an argument. We do that here with ROSPI subscriber. This is an object. So it creates an object, like unnamed in this. In our case, we do not call it any name, but there is this object, a subscriber object, that subscribes the topic defined here with the message type range, which we just imported here. And the function to call on each new message is range callback. This is the name of our function. And this will print the laser distance data to the console. Like whatever we do, it will always print this distance. And it works in another thread, so it's multi-threading right now. And if we try to run this code, we will see clearly how it works. Yeah, and
Okay.
here it's writing us rangefinder distance 0 and 1, and now it's 1.5.
Oh, Timofey, could you increase the font size,
Let's try that.
please?
All right. And now you can see that it's always writing some range. I will stop this program by Control-C and to show you what we can do next. Let's try to, instead of just writing down this data, let's actually create a variable where we will store this data. So we need to create a variable dist, for example, and in our function, we need to say that this variable is global dist, because otherwise we cannot change a global variable from inside the function. Okay, here we have this global dist, and instead of printing the MSG range, which is the message that we get, we will say that dist equals MSG range, and now we can print the dist variable from wherever we want, like here, print, and also here. So 2.512. Let's actually put a block in this position. 0, 1, 2, 2.5, 1. And see what happens. And when I will play this program, you will notice something weird. I'll tell you what it is. Wait a second. Dist is not defined. Yeah, because I said dist is equal to nothing. Of course, I need to say dist equals to 0. And now the program will work. All right. And because of the way the rangefinder is set up for now, the drone, after it hovers over a high object, it will actually jump up over it. Yeah, you see it jumps because it thinks that its height dropped because it uses rangefinder as the primary source of height, which is not what we want. So we need to change this parameter. See, it will jump again. Yeah, it jumps again. And hopefully return. Yeah, it does return. All right. But we see that it doesn't write our distance all the time. It only writes it twice because we said print dist only twice. Now let's go and fix this jump issue. Let's minimize the simulator and open QGround control. This is the control station for our flight controller. On the first run, you may change your system to metric. Press OK. And just OK. Go to vehicle setup and open parameters. And find the EKF2 menu. In this menu, we'll need to find the EKF2 HGT mode, which is the way we know our height. For now, it's range sensor. We can change it to vision or to barometric pressure or GPS if we have one, but for now we do not have it. So we will change it to vision, save, okay, and reboot everything. So I will reboot with Control-C. I will reboot the simulator. After I reboot it, we will test our program again and find out whether it's gonna jump over the object or not. Let's put the box back. And let's run the program. And now it doesn't jump, which is what we want. And it also shows us the height, which is not perfect, but quite good. Okay, I think we can stop the program here. And this is how you can subscribe to topics and use the data in your code. You can actually call this subscriber some name, like dist sub equals, and it will work the same. But now if you want to unsubscribe the topic, you can call like where you want it. You can call dist sub dot unregister, and it will no longer be subscribed to the topic. Sometimes it may be useful, but I will not use it for now. All right. What's next? Now let's create a program that will change the LED color depending on the height of the drone, like of the object behind under the drone. For that, we need to learn how to use LED strip. There is an article about that, and the code example. From Clover SRV, import LED effect, and set effect equals ROSPI service proxy. This is what we need to copy in our program. And now we can use the effects. For example, there is blink effect or some other effects. Blink fast, fade, wipe, fill, rainbow, and so on. And I will create the program that will blink fast if with red color, if there is a cube under the drone, and it will be just green if there is no cube under the drone. So let's do that. First, let's decide in which path are we going to go. So I will have like 2, the coordinates 2, then I will remove the square from here, then coordinates 4 by x, then coordinates 4 and 2, and 2 and 2. Let's remove the square from here. Print distance also, not what I want here. Okay. And now we can make a function, another function that will read the data from rangefinder and colorize our LED. Def call if dist is, let's think about it. If it's more than 1.2, if dist is greater than 1.2, we can use set effect with green color. Else, I'll use just red for now, and I'll manually type the effect equals blink fast. Yeah, correct. What next? And I'll call this function on each after reaching each coordinate. Let's try that. And let's put some boxes in the coordinates. This is going to be here and here. That's enough. Now let's try to run this program. First it goes to the 0, 0 point. And now let me, yeah, it's now blinking with red. And here it's going to stay green. Yes, it's green now. Here it's going to blink with red. And here it's going to be green again. It's green. And it is still green. Yeah, so easy. I think it's so easy. But the green is too dark. We need to increase to be 255, and maybe let's give it a little time period for it to blink or to stay green, after which we will turn off the LED. So after all of this if and else, I will set the timer prospy.sleep for 2 seconds, then I will call set effect with no arguments, which means that it will turn off all the effects. And let's try. Now it's waiting, and it stopped blinking. Here it will wait for 2 seconds with green. It stopped lighting, and now it's going to blink again for 2 seconds and go, and here for 2 seconds and go away. Okay, now this is it for LED and laser rangefinder. But we also can access the topic with from our camera. For that, we can find the computer vision basics article that will show us the Python example on how to access it. But what I wanted to do is actually the QR code example. So this program here will read the QR code data. This is also a callback function, and there's also a subscriber. Image sub equals ROPSPY subscriber. And there is also ROPSPY spin. But how do we add the QR code in the first place? Let's first generate the code and add it to the field. The easiest way to add a QR code is to replace a texture of an Heroku marker with the QR code. You can find the model that is loading when we start the simulator in the folder. Let me show you where. If you go to Home, Katkin WS, SRC, Clover Simulation Models, and there is Heroku Smith TXT folder, which is actually a model. So each of these folders is a model. Let's open it up. Here we have config and SDF file, but we want to materials and textures. Each of this image is a texture for an individual Heroku marker. Let's replace the marker with the ID 91 replace it with the QR code. I like to use the QR code generator. This site will help you to generate codes. Let me send it. And what we want to do is to have a few coordinates which we want to visit. So let's do it that way. 2.5x and 1y. Then 4x and 1.5y. Then 6x and 0y. Oh, I wanted to have 6. Then 6x and 2y. And 4x and 1.5. It's already spotted, so I will use 4x and 3.5y. And this is it, gonna be it. So let's count how many of them we have. First coordinate, second, third, fourth, and fifth. It is enough. Now let's make it a little bit smaller and save. PNG, QR. desktop. Copy, and I'll paste it here. And what I want to do is to actually, the easiest way is to replace the marker 91 with this one by renaming. So I will copy the name of the old texture and add something so it will not load. I put underscore in the beginning, rename, and go down, rename the QR code, and paste the name. Let's try how it turned out to work. And now we have this QR code. So for you who are worried, it will not actually, it's okay to remove some of our markers because it's enough to see at least some of them to work properly. There is no need to always have all of them in place. Now, let's continue with the program. So this program will require the PyZbar module. I think it's missing as a default module in the simulator, so you'll need to reinstall this module manually. Let's do that with pip install PyZbar. All right. The next is, before I run the code, I'll read this warning. The script will take up to 100% of CPU. Well, it's only in Raspberry Pi it will take up to 100 CPU because Raspberry Pi has not so much power. But still, if we run this code with the main camera image raw topic, which has the 40 FPS, which is so much, you don't need that much, it will try to read QR code on each frame 40 times per second. We don't need that frequency. So we will create another topic by making a throttle. And we need to find the main camera that launch file and add these lines there. So I will close, for now, I will close the simulator. And open these main camera launch. Let's scroll down. You see this node and slash node tag. After this slash node, I will paste our node, and it will create a new node that is a throttle. This node it closes with the slash in the end. So there are two ways to close the node, either by we don't have a slash here, but we have slash node here. So this is another way to close the node. Only if we have any additional tags inside. So anyway, this is actually one line, so you can erase this spacing and press space here. So we have it in one line. I will save this launch file and close it. Now let's create another program. qrs.py and paste I will also, as we made another topic, the throttle topic, we need to specify this topic here. So instead of image row, I will type underscore image row throttled. Yes. And this topic will have 5 Hertz instead of 40 Hertz, which is much less and more efficient. For now, let's I will run both of these programs because this one does not have any takeoff and anything else. So in this program, I will add navigate weight to the coordinate 1, 0, and 1, or actually 0.9, because you need to go down to be able to see the code, and hover for some seconds. 20 seconds. Okay, we can start both of these programs, but we cannot start them from Visual Studio. That's why I will first start one of them in Terminal and another one in Visual Studio. Okay, CD codes, and let's run the flight program in Visual Studio, and the Python QRs, we'll run it here. And it's already reading the data, as you can see. And you see this program doesn't end because it has ROSPI spin in the end, which is just an infinite delay. Let's close it. Let's close the first program and the second. All right. Okay, let's now add some flight to the QRs program. For the flight, I will separate this window and have one program on the left and the other on the right, so I can copy all the necessary packages. So for the flight, I will need Clover SRV. As well as, I don't need all of them. Actually, I will only use land and navigate and maybe get telemetry. But just for saving some time, I will copy all of the service proxies. I will put it below after the barcode test init node. You remember I told you that when you init node, the name of the program should be unique. So if there was flight as well as here, I couldn't run both of the programs at the same time. This is why there are different names. Okay, what's next? Let's copy navigate weight from here. And copy some take off and going here. Instead of ROSPY spin, I will put this save, close, and now I can try to run this program without any additional programs, just this program. Oh, it says that trigger is not defined. We need to import one more thing from the one.py. Let's copy that and paste here. Now we can try again. All right, it's, oh, set LED effect. Well, because I used this set LED effect here, I will just remove it for now. And now it should work. Yeah, okay, math. One more thing, sorry. Also import math. So libraries are important. All right, let's try again. And I will actually land the drone with Commander land. And let's try that again. It takes off and it's, now it will go here. And it's reading the QR code. All right, I will stop program here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the unnecessary parts of the image callback here. Like we have B data, which is the text data from QR code, but we do not need anything else, like B type and the X, Y, and so on. I'll remove that from here. I also want the B data to be a global variable. So let's have it B data equals empty line, empty string. And here we will use global B data. And now we can have access to the B data. I do that because I want to extract the numbers from B data and navigate, use these numbers to navigate. So first optimization that we will make is I do not want to sleep here for 20 seconds. I want to sleep just the time needed to read the QR code. So it takes some time, and we know that once the QR code is was read, the B data is no longer an empty line. So I can say that like while B data equals empty string ROSPY sleep for 0.2 seconds. Why 0.2? Because the image raw throttle topic is 5 Hertz, 1/5 of a second, and 1/5 of a second is 0.2. So this is the minimum time that we need to retest the B data. All right, after we got this data, we actually need to create another variable that will store a modified version of B data. So instead of a string of characters, we need actually a list of small strings, and then on that list we will also change the type of each item in this list. So I'll create the QR variable which is equal to b data dot split and just for the demonstration, I will print both b data and QR. Let's try that. Okay, as you can see that b data is a string. It's not numbers, it's just a string of characters. And QR is a list of strings. So how do you apply a function, like a float function, to each element in the list? Well, there is a map function that will do that for us. So instead of just having bdata.split, I will actually wrap it into a map function like that, map. So if you want to learn more about Python, we will send you some materials of how you can learn more about this language, which will be very handy for you if you program the drones. So when you use the map, first you need to provide the function that you will apply to each element and the actual element. So if I put here the bdata.split, it will paste this list here. And our new QR will now be not just a list of strings, but a list of floats. And we will check it when we run. Yeah, you see the change. Instead of quoted 1, we have 1.0. And instead of quoted 4, we have 4.0. 1.5 and quotes became just 1.5. And now we can use these numbers to navigate. So what would be the dumbest way to use this data? Well, a dumb way, not a smart one, is to say like navigate weight QR 0, QR 1. So it will use the zeroth index 2.5 as X and first index, which is 1, as Y. And we could now proceed with navigate weight and QR2 and QR3 and so on. But what if we don't know what is the total number of points that are put in data? Well, we cannot predict that. So we need some other approach. Well, let's create a loop that will do the following thing. We will use a for loop, for I in. And we need to iterate through some object, some iterable object. In this case, I will create an object using the range function. That will start from 0. It will end with like the length, the total number of steps will be length of the QR. And the step would be 2. You see why the step would be 2. So it will actually, the actual number of steps will be the half of the total number of elements in the list. But this is what we want, because half, which it means that, for example, if we chose every step, one step for each number, it means like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 steps, but we only have 5 coordinates because we actually counted them by 2 at a time. This is 1 coordinate, this is 2. In total, it's 5. So this way we get a range which will give us the something like that: 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Yeah, this object. So this range will return this iterable object for us. And now we can let's put this navigate inside, yeah, the column here, inside this loop, and instead of QR0 and QR1, we will use QRI and QRI plus 1. I plus 1. So what does it give us? In the first run, we have I of 0, and it will find the zeros index in the QR, which is 2.5. And here is I plus 1, which is 1. It will find the first index of QR, which is 1.0. In the second loop, it will go from the 2. So it will put 2 instead of I here, and it will find the index number 2, which is 4. And here 2 plus 1 is 3, which is 1.5. So we are going, we are cycling through all the coordinates given in the QR code. And after we finish, let's go to the 0 position and land. And there's, now it doesn't matter how many points are described in the B data. It doesn't matter. It will go wherever there is. All right, it's going to the first point, then to the second. Okay. So do you think it's easy, or maybe it's not so easy? Yeah, thank you. Okay, now you've learned how to use the QR code data, like the simplest way to read this data and to use it in your program. Yeah, great. And if you want to add some functionality, like in each of the points, you may like use your LED or read some other data like from other sensors, or you can perform certain flight path if you want. So you can add it inside this loop, like anything you want. Here you can read data from rangefinder if you add the functionality here, and so on. Yeah, Svetlana will tell you more about homework. So Svetlana, I think I can give you the word for the homework now. What do you think about it?
You finished the useful and unique information?
Yeah.
For now? Okay, guys. So first of all, before we go to the homework, maybe you have any questions about the function, about the Gazebo simulation installation, or any other question. You can write it in the Zoom chat or turn on your microphone and ask it in our Zoom session now. Because of next, we will share with you information about your next steps, and this time for your question regarding to the materials that Timofey give you. Yeah, good question from Adele. Of course, you can try and use these materials, this video recording in our presentation, and ask all questions on Telegram app. We will be glad to answer on it. Great. So I have an interesting question from my side. Have you installed the Gazebo simulation on your laptop yesterday or today? So if it's yes, you can write plus in the Zoom chat. It's only interesting for our statistics. I see some smiles. Okay, I understand. Okay, no problem. So if you're ready to give new information about your next steps, are you ready? All right, something in the Zoom chat, please. Yes. I see someone is ready. Great. We need in your power active and power energy. It's help us to give you more interesting and useful information. Okay, so we can go to the summarize right now. And let me share my screen. Okay, first of all, I would like to provide summarize of our webinar. So thank you very much to our master and to Timofey for this unique information, because it's really interesting and it looks clear. Because of this information, we have prepared especially for you some base information, some information for beginners. To find, I think you can't find this information on other resources, because it's really new information, and we are prepared on this webinar and our next camp to cover and to involve many people and give them a quick start in drone programming. So during our webinar, you are learned and you have got new knowledge regarding to types of indoor navigation, autonomous drones, Linux system, computer vision system, and working with other sensors and how you can get information from it. Yeah, so but this information it really great hard skill, but the next steps it is mean that you should to know how you can apply and where you can compare your knowledge with and try to solve a real task, for example. So, and in this case, I would like to remind you about our concept of educational trajectory. So we think that that creation of your own project in aerorobotic, it's one of the great step in it. But if you can do it, it is mean that you you know how you can use a simulation environment and other tools and try your ideas in the simulation environment. Then you can test it on the real drone and run your ideas on real drone. And if we combine this system, you can get a real great project using drones in aerorobotics. But it's this is a great step, and to reach this step, we combine for you several activities that you can apply it. So first of all, it's activities with world skills, named the World Skills competition. You can apply on our World Skills Russian competition, and also we will provide in the summer World Skill competition with World Skills Asia. Other type of competition, it's Innopolis Open. It's also international competition. It will be provided in July, but before it, you should to pass the qualification round on it. And the big competitions such as MBZIRC, this is a great and difficult challenge for teams from universities or companies. They have prepared their drone project for indoor and outdoor navigation, and this competition will be held in next year. And the similar, but with some the same scale, it's a IMF competition. Also consists of 2 parts for outdoor and indoor. In this year or next year, it will be held in Mexico. So you can apply on this event too. And finally, I would like to share with you copter hack competition. So this is a regular competition that we as a COEX hosted. And this event will help you to be supervised by our experts during the long time. So you can start with your idea or any prototype stage, and at the final, approximately 3 months, you will finish your project, giving from us the feedback. And of course, it is really useful information, and it's many information, and we have prepared it especially for you schedule or calendar of upcoming event. You can find it on our website, the main page. And also on this page, you can find the button, Learn More. And on this button, I would like to try to show you. Yeah, so just a moment. Yeah. Do you see my screen? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this is a big table of our upcoming event. The link located on our website. So you can watch this table and check the status of this event. So, for example, we have finished on the 2 weeks ago our first virtual final. It was international competition too, but we repeat this competition in some later, approximately in April. So the important information about each event you can find in the description column. Also, you can find the link for registration. But if you didn't find any registration link, or you didn't want to lost information about it, you can apply using this form. So, and in this form, we will get information from your site, and we will remind you about updated information from event which was interest for you. So some closest event on the next month, 20 and 21st March, we will provide the final presentation of Copter Hack 2021. So you can connect, you can join on this event, such as a spectacular, and watch presentation, and you can learn, you will know about the ideas which our attenders will present on this event. So we will share the link in the end of March, and also we will publish all information in our common Telegram group. What's interesting will be near time. So in April or May or June, we will plan to provide open training. The date's not determined for now, but we will update this information at the end of March. Also, in July, you can demonstrate your skill in the competition named Sinopolis Open. So you can apply on this competition right now, but you should to pass the qualification round before. The conditions of this qualification round will be announcements on April. And one of the interesting information too, in July or August, and these limits of dates will be provided online friendly competition hosted by WorldSkills Asia, and it will be online too. So you can apply on this event when the information will be announcement. So you can follow our group or official social media from WorldSkills Asia. Do you have any questions about the competition? Or no? So if you have any questions, you can ask it right now or later when you will learn information about it. Okay, I didn't see any question. Okay, no problem. So one information that will help us from your side, it is your feedback. So please leave the feedback, fill the Google form. You can use this link. I will just a moment. I will share it with you. So this is a Google form, and this your feedback will help us to improve our webinars, or maybe add something new. And we are very glad to get your opinion about it. So yeah, the link in our chat. Please fill this form during 1 or 2 days. It will be great. Okay, and finally, you can save our contacts. So if you have any questions about partnership, cooperation, and more, you can write on our email or write us in Telegram to Oleg and me regarding to COEX, and to Annalise regarding to Prometheus and cooperation and the Middle East region. Yeah, so we are goes to the finish our webinar. So do you have any question right now regarding to this information, or we can go to the homework information? So what do you think? I think you want to get more homework right now. And of course, me and Timofey, we have prepared special homework for you. Just a moment, I will share with you. Yeah. Okay, and this is a homework number 2 of our second day. So it's really similar to the previous homework, but it has some difference. The difference it's include the QR code information. So during our webinar, you will you know about how to generate a QR code and how to read information from it. Your task will be include QR code creation, and with information, for example, red. So you should to provide takeoff, make obstacle avoiding trajectory, perform the flip, and finally you should to recognize the QR code, read the information, and turn on your LED strip with color, for example, red, and provide landing with this color. So this is a simple homework, but it includes all skills which we have shared with you during our webinar. And of course, we are very glad to if you share your result in our community group. Timothy, what do you think about this task? It was easy, it will be easy, or it will be difficult?
I think, well, it might not be clear whether they really read the QR code or just use the color red or blue that's described in the QR code. I think it's better to, in the program, to show first the reading of QR code and printing the information from QR code. Then, depending on what color there is in QR code, for example, you can pick like 4 colors, red, green, blue, and yellow. And depending on what's in QR code, light with this color. Well, or maybe you can also provide, maybe it's will be easier than what you have now, but you may just provide the coordinates for the landing in QR code. So in QR code, there will be only X and Y, and reading this data, you can just go and land there. But you cannot know that before. For example, there is a coordinate 4 and 6. It's in the QR code. You know that QR code is located in the coordinates 1 and 0, but for proper landing, you need to go there first and read the data, and then only then go to the landing position.
Yes, I'm difficult from Timofey. Yeah, so this is our example, and you can use it or customize this example and use these materials to teach your students or teach alone by self. And also, we have prepared one surprise for you. The special surprise for you. This is our favorite part. Yeah, this is our big common photo. Thank you all for this webinar and for your efforts, for your interest in our products and our activities which we promote with you. We are open to cooperation, and of course, we are glad to see you in as a part of our big international community. You can turn on your cameras again, and if you want, you can we can make common photo again. And also, if you want to say something regarding to this webinar or something else, you can share with us your opinion and mind. Okay, you are prepared for the common photo, and yeah, I see many of you turn on the camera. What about other guys? Oh, Timofey, while our attenders preparing to the common photo, could you answer for the question about the ROS 2?
Well, we are moving on ROS Noetic right now. And well, it takes time to make this change, but in the future versions, at least we will be able to use Python 3 instead of Python 2, which we use now. And yeah, we are moving, but it takes some time to move.
Okay. Okay. So guys, I see that you are ready to take a common photo. So in 3, 2, 1, and just smile. Great, great. I will save it. And repeat again. Last chance to take an awesome photo. 3, 2, 1, smile. Great, great, great. So now the time for open microphone. So if you want, you can ask us in a live stream right now, ask any questions, or maybe you have any suggestions. And we are very glad to hear it from you. We have a little time for it, but I think it will be good if you want, of course. Oh, so cute. Okay, so I hope we get your opinion in our feedback form, and we will read it, and I hope it will be interesting and useful from your side. Timofey, would you like to add something?
Well, it's a pleasure for me that you enjoyed the course and that you do your homework. And well, there's so many interested people, and I hope to see you in the future, and maybe in online cooperation or in real life cooperation, which is also a great opportunity to hang out together. And yeah, looking forward to improving our relationship and cooperation.
Yeah, so, and I have I remember one useful thing. So Timofey, could you recommend the good resource for learning Python language? Because I know many of beginner has some difficult with programming language, but I know that you have a good resource to fix it.
Yeah, if you want to learn the basics and just to quickly deep into the Python, you can like use the course on YouTube. It's a short, like a 1.5 hour video from Derek Bennis. I recommend it because it describes many different parts of Python language without going too deep into the detail, but you will at least understand the syntax and the capabilities of this language, and will learn how to do basic stuff with it. So this is the link. I've sent it to the chat.
Could you demonstrate your screen? It will save on our live stream on YouTube.
Okay, so open this link and demonstrate it, right?
Yeah. It will save this information for our future followers.
All right, yeah, let's do that. Let me do that. So this is a video, and it's a Derek Bennis YouTube channel, Python tutorial 2020, and there is a lot of examples. Some of them are funny, some of them are interesting, and you will learn all the basics you need about Python? Well, without going too much into detail, and it also only takes you like 2 hours or 1.5 hours. Yeah, about 2 hours. And I recommend it to beginners who want to learn the language as their first language, or if you want to switch from another language.
Yeah. Thank you, Timofey. And one more useful resource, especially for you, you can check our website. So on this website, we provide announcements about our webinars or different activities. Also, you can find the schedule of upcoming events and learn more about, to get information about many other events. And of course, interesting page. It's page consists of materials for education. Many of it Timofey was demonstrated by Timofey, such as a Gitbook. But on this place, one place, you can learn more about our system, where our programists and project managers promote the Clover on ETH Zurich PX4 Developer Summit. Many interesting information. And of course, manuals for hardware and software, information about competitions and project activities. So you know that hardware, we have different safety tips, manuals for assembling and flight controller configuration. Also, you can learn Python language using this resource or resource from Timofey. And also many information about the Gazebo simulation. Of course, information about competitions. And one of the interesting parts of this page, it's a project. So you can click on the interesting project and read about it on our Gitbook. You can also give information. You can get the code, and you can base your code on this material because it's open source. It is one of the big advantages of open source technologies. And also all educational materials in one place, curriculums, textbooks, manuals, you can find on this page too, with our webinars, tutorials, and we have many information on our YouTube channel. So I hope this information was really useful for you, and I hope we will see you and your team on our competition. So we invite you to join us on Copter Hack presentation about projects. I think it will be interesting for you. And see you on our next events. Nice to see you, and thanks all for this activity in this event. Okay, bye bye, bye bye. Thank you, bye bye. Thank you, guys.